decides a troll must bow, Chieftain Narjak Firstborn told his cub. Akrug must carry the tribe now. Narjak has spoken. Slowly, Akrug looked up from the bloody mud. Akrug cannot. He is not ready. Narjak's gaze was like fog. Take care of them, cub. Them and him. Both. shield the tribe, and shield Noag. Those were Chieftain Narjak's last words to his cub Akrog after a ballista bolt from the Tusk Hunters pierced right through his chest. Fabled warrior, leader of the Moonkin Trolls, last of the mythical firstborn, killed by elven poachers. It was not only Narjak's heart the bolt impaled that day, but also that of the Moonkin tribe, weakened by the terrible blood-rot plague and decimated by the hunters. They had long been struggling for survival. With their mighty chieftain gone, the last ray of hope still shining was Noag, Akrog's younger sibling who had inherited Narjak's legendary power. The chieftain's wish for Akrog to succeed him surprised many kin, but it surprised Akrog most of all. True, he was a strong and honorable warrior, but far from the Moonkin's best. All he had was the peculiar gift to hear the voices of the dead, and an iron will to do right by his sire's last words. Was he ready for this? He could not say. Yet when the tribe demands, a troll must bow. And so Akrog found himself giving his first command as a chieftain to be. The Moonkin would travel to Mugwa's cradle, a shrine guarded by the Bonekin Trolls, to perform the Devouring, the sacred ritual where the new chieftain consumed the old chieftain's heart to take up his role. This story begins the day the Bruised tribe arrived at the cradle, where Akrog, joined by his mentor Grungwar and his trusted one Zaska, ventured out to find a holy plant for the ritual, Mugwar's Tear. Little did Akrog know that the true trial of the Moonkin Trolls had just begun. No matter what the trolls may think of Chieftain Akrog, trust not the foul tusks who say he had everything given to him on a moon silver platter, all because his sire was chieftain before him. Oh no, little cubs. The hunger, the blood rot, the hunters. The Moonkin had become but a shadow, and in the span of a day, it became Akrog's calling to lead them back to Mugwa's light. The day he and his two companions went out to prepare Narjak's last rites would be but the beginning of his troubles.
Are these the ones?
Magwa's tears, the sacred plants, blessed by the goddess herself.
Pity she always cries in hard-to-reach places. It was a rotten pain to get here.
One blew Makrog to embalm the chieftain's corpse for the devouring. Harm not the others.
Akrog has a question. If the blooms are so powerful, perhaps they could help with the blood rot. Surely Mugwa would understand.
Akrog's sire said the same thing.
He said that? When?
Oh, hundreds of moons ago. Back when the blood rot first showed. Akrog was still a little cub and little Moonblood was not yet born. The eyes picked 3 blooms, and Shepherd Crumb brewed a potion from them, but it helped not. In truth, It only made the trolls that drank it worse.
Worse?
The hex power of the blooms is too strong, even for a troll's flesh.
Akrog remembers hearing that the Brittlebones use these blooms too, no? The sharp-eared ones.
The elves, it is true. They call them Lenya, and greedily tear them from the soil to use for their hexes. Typical lightling ways, if Grungwar is asked. They think themselves so much holier than the dark races. But in the end, all they do is take, and take.
Akrog wants not to disrespect Mugwa, but why can they not pluck more? This is a Brittlebone ruin. If the Moonkin pluck them not, someone else will.
Akrog speaks true, but still, the laws demand it. These blooms are gifts from Mugwa to the sacred earth, and the only time a troll can rip them from the soil is for the rites.
Akrog understands. All right.
And it is done. The bloom has been plucked.
Back to the cradle then? Before the big little oaf Noag goes mad with worry, thinking they tumbled off a cliff.
Akrog still thinks they should have taken Noag with them. It would have helped his dark thoughts.
Noag's gloom is the reason it would have been unwise to take him. Give him time to mourn. As the moon blood, and soon the same blood of the chieftain, he knows there will be little of that in the moons to come.
Grungwar speaks true. Let them march back. They have lost too much time already.
Wait, before they leave, Grungwar has an unusual wish. He would like to pluck a bloom for himself.
What for? The devouring?
No, it is... The Moonkin have been running for so long, Chieftain. Grungwar dreams that one day they will find a true home somewhere. A tribe camp to last, so to speak.
Fine. Grungwar can pick it.
Grungwar thanks the chieftain. He...
There, old fur. His precious little bloom.
Zaska should not have done that. The blooms are sacred.
Well, Zaska just did, and he still stands here, looking as good as ever. Now, how about they leave this place?
Fine. Back to the cradle, then.
What is needed of him?
Trusted one, all right.
Yes.
Let Zaska get a proper look.
And it is open. Strange.
Maybe Zaramak could learn a thing or two from these ruins.
Brittle bone craftsmanship never brings anything good.
It is like the other one, but the stick is missing. Let them look around then. Maybe they can mend it somehow.
He is on his way.
This. That should work.
That way. Let Akrog see.
Interesting. Probably. Huh. What is that?
Bugs, look out!
Go join the worms! Great! More problems to smash! Would not eat such a meal. Dead.
What on Urgath is this?
Can a troll not rest for a moment?
Let Akrog see. On his way.
Time to move on. At his service.
What is this?
The Moonkin cannot go through here.
True. But there is a hex stone. If they can kindle the...
There they are. Trusted one, Nurbok One-Eye. What is he doing here?
Looking for them. The Fat Bonekin chieftain was getting worried.
The tears were harder to find than they thought.
Cub Akrog, Nurbok will tell him one more time. The Moonkin should break off the devouring and move on. If they stay in this clearing for too long, the hunters will come for them.
Nurbok, they talked about this. The chieftain must be devoured, so Magua can pass on his power to the chosen chieftain. Narjok would want...
What Narjok would want is for the tribe to survive. But Nurbok has said his piece. It is clear the tribe would rather listen to a fresh-tusked cubling who hears voices in the wind.
Is Nurbok done?
He is. Make no mistake. Nurbok treasured Narjak like he treasures Grungwar. But Narjak was a great chieftain because he put others first. Surely Akrog knows that, after what his sire did for Nurbok and Akrog both.
Akrog knows, Nurbok. But what honor have the trolls left?
He can. Oh, and Zaska Smalltusk? What? Nurbok knows the Smalltusk has been scheming. He will keep an eye on him. Then how will he see where he is going?
talking about? About Zazka scheming?
Scheming makes it sound very bad. He will tell Trusted One Akrog after the devouring.
Kin should not have secrets from each other, Zazka.
And Grimoire would know all about that, no?
Grimoire is ready. Let Grimoire take a closer look.
What is Agrog waiting for? They need to bring the tears to the Bonekin.
That bear. Nurbok crushed it?
Nurbok crushed it, but it was already hurt when he came here.
Maybe a Bonekin hunter killed it then.
Or a brittle bone.
Anuk's eyes have scouted the jungle. They say there is no one in sight, neither Brittlebone nor Greenskin.
True. Well, it will be a good meal for the ill and wounded. Nurbok will take it back to the tribe.
A wise idea. Best ask Crumb who needs it most.
Why would Nurbok accuse Zazka of scheming?
Ask him himself. The small tusk is standing right there.
And he was about to say the same thing. Akrog, Zazka will tell him after the devouring. Now is not the time.
Fine. Akrog will leave now. Will Nurbok join the devouring?
He will. But there is something else he has to look into first.
Sharp tusks and thick hide, then.
If he insists. They messed with the wrong tribe. More power needed. Interesting. Probably.
Something about this jungle always makes Akrog's hide crawl.
The blood drop in the cradle. It is full of Magwa's power, making life and plants flourish all around it.
Pity all that power does beak shit to keep the hunters and slavers away.
Is something wrong, Zazka?
Not of
By the Holy Hide, if it is not chosen Chieftain Akrog Bone Crusher. Cabrax was about to ask the bones if something happened to them.
Chieftain Cabrax, Magwa prays. It is true, finding the tears was harder than they thought. The Brittlebone ruin was swarming with bugs.
Good for the tears, bad for the many Brittlebone treasure hunters who searched them. Ha! Come, show him. Ah, good. Very good. Mugwa will be pleased. Now all they need is a tooth.
A sacred pierce stick. The Bonekin have none of their own.
Oh, of course they do. But the Moonkin will need to shape their own for their sacrifice.
How can they shape a tooth? Grimoire said it. It is a sacred weapon.
Just like how the Moonkin shape their other weapons. All Akrog must do is find a hexed Brittlebone weapon, scrap it, then have the Moonkin Master Scrapper use the parts to shape the tooth.
Where can they find a hexed Brittlebone weapon, though?
Oh, there are many places in this jungle. But Cabrax believes he heard the Moonkin's Master Scrapper, Zaramuk, speak of a Brittlebone hideout up north.
His name is Zeramak. But good, Akrog will speak to him. Oh, and Chieftain Cabrax. Akrog is not chieftain yet, but he still thanks Cabrax in the name of the tribe. He knows many Bonekin wanted not the Moonkin so close to their shrine, with the hunters and the blood rot. Cabrax took a risk helping them, and Akrog will not forget it.
Look at that! The cub has his sire's silver tongue.
No, Akrog means it. Only the Bonekin can do the devouring. If not for Cabrax, Narjak would never find his way into the moonlit river, and Akrog could never be blessed with Narjak's strength.
True. But Narjak was not only a great chieftain, but also the last firstborn troll. To give him his last rites is a great honor. And as for the fool tusks afraid of catching the blood rot, what they need most is a fat fist to the face. They should know the rot cannot be passed from one troll to another, and be glad the bone kin were mostly spared. Now off with Akrog. That tooth will not shape itself.
So be it. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Chieftain Cabrax.
Listening.
All right. To the tribe camp.
They should look for Noag too. Let them hope he has done nothing silly.
They will. We'll go there. Let Akrog see. What is it that Warrior Nog needs?
Well, he feel foolish to ask.
Just speak.
Well, Tamer Julog, he say anything about Nog?
Like what?
Well, there is no good way to say it. Talag, Julog's trusted one. Nog there when hunters kill him.
Talig. Akrog remembers. That was many moons ago, was it not?
It is true, but Nog still remembers all too clearly. Talag fight like a true warrior, and Nog by his side. But then the hunters get too many, and Nog gets scared and run. He even hear Talag scream as the hunter untusk him and... Well, no matter. Nog want to ask Akrog if Julog would forgive him if he apologized for leaving Talag. Akrog has the gift of spirits, so he can know thoughts of the tribe, no?
I'm sorry. Akrog cannot read thoughts.
No? But he is blessed by Mugwa, and...
All the gift of spirits does is make him sleep badly and hear voices in the wind. But sometimes he wishes he could read thoughts. It would make things easier, especially now that he is about to be chieftain. Nog should just tell Julog he is sorry after the devouring. Let Julog decide whether to forgive him or not.
Nog see. Akrog is right. He must ask and hope for the best. Sometimes that is all a troll can do.
Narg speaks true. Now sharp tusks and thick hide. Akrog must prepare the devouring.
Sharp tusks and thick hide. Let Grungwa.
What? Oh, chosen chieftain Elder Grafer. Mugwa praise.
Mugwa praise.
Hello to Julog too.
Are the beaks well?
Well, most are, but Ezekiel and Urax starve. Crumb gave them some herbs against hunger, but they are still restless. How goes the devouring? The sooner the Moonkin can move on, the better.
They are still preparing it. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Julog.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Let's us.
Ah, chieftain back. Good. What he need?
The Moonkin need to craft a tooth. Can Zeramak help with that?
Tooth? For eating?
No. The holy weapon for the devouring. They have the pointy end, they just need a brittlebone pierce stick with hex power. Kabrak said the scrappers found a brittlebone hideout up north.
Ah, the cave, true. It locked, but the scrappers find shiny metal to open it. Here, how it called?
A key. The scrappers went in already.
Not yet, because there are Erics and other creatures. But Chieftain and Grungmore strong. They can squish them. Maybe they take Little Moonblood too? He's so strong.
Maybe. Speaking of Little Blood, has Zeramak seen him?
Bit ago he have, but not now. Maybe he sleep in shelter?
Akrog will look. Either way, they will be back with the brittlebone pierce stick. Zeramak should stay ready.
He will. Oh, and Slig? Best ask now.
The Chosen Chieftain might be able to help Slig, if he has time. Just come and talk to him when he can.
Akrog needs Zeramak to shape something. To crush things.
What he need?
This looks interesting.
Scrapper Slig Stoutheart. He wanted to speak with Akrog?
It is true, Chosen Chieftain. Slig knows this is a strange time to be asking him for a favor, but Chosen Chieftain Akrog has always been happy to help the Scrappers before.
He has, it is true. And what sort of help is needed this time?
Oh, the usual. Slig needs to bring back as much scrap as he can, so that he and the Master Scrapper can keep up with the need for weapons, armor, and all that stuff.
He needs Akrog to carry scrap?
No. Just shield Slig while he finds what they need. He gets so carried away with sorting that he would not even hear Mugwa's cub if it came sneaking up behind him. There is a crumbling brittlebone place southeast of here, where Slig might find some lovely scrap. Chosen Chieftain knows where Slig means.
He knows. He was there not so long ago, looking for Mugwa's tears.
Perfect. So, has the Chosen Chieftain time to help Slig, just like in the good old days?
He has not really the time, but he cannot say no to Slig.
Mugwar prays. The Chosen Chieftain is so kind. Slig will meet Chosen Chieftain Akrog outside the Brittlebone ruins. It will not take Slig long to find out what he needs.
Hopefully.
It had better not. Akrog will meet Slig there.
All right. He will see him soon.
All right. Zaramak said the cave is to the north. And let them keep an eye out for Little Blood.
Trusted one gets used to the chieftain's speak quite quickly.
As he should.
Moving now.
What on Urgath is this? In that direction.
Chosen Chieftain, over here!
Slig, there he is.
It was good of Chosen Chieftain Akrog to come. Is he ready to shield Slig?
He's ready.
Oh, wonderful! Let them see how much lovely scrap is waiting for them in there.
Interesting.
Mugwar's tusks! Look at this place! Slig's not sure where to start.
Slig should keep his voice down. He was right not to come here alone. Akrog is sure there are enemies around every corner.
Slig cannot promise to be calm, Chosen Chieftain, but he will try.
Akrog likes not this place. He wonders what happened to the Brittlebones who lived here.
Slig cannot spend all day worrying about things like that. He has got scrap to find.
More scrap for him. What can he do for the tribes?
Keep those Araks away from Slig.
Worry not. Akrog will crush them. Just get that scrap.
He will. This makes a nice change from all the thinking Slig has been doing lately.
What thinks he about?
Slig will tell him if he promises to keep crushing those Araks. Well, Slig likes to think about the trolls he knows. And the ones he has known.
Has Slig lost someone close to him too?
It is true. But not as recently as the Chosen Chieftain, of course. Slig likes to remember his old friend Zanuck.
Zanuck? Akrog knows not that name.
They had been friends since they were cubs. Slig will never forget the day when Zanuck asked him to be his trusted one.
What happened to him?
The blood rot took him. He got hurt out in the swamps, and it seemed like he was getting better. But then, the rot took over and he was gone. Slig was with him when he died. He hoped Zanuck knew he was there.
Together, to the very end. That is the promise trusted ones make. Akrog is sorry Slig lost him, and in such a way.
Chosen Chieftain speaks true. Anyway, there is no time for moping. There is scrap to be found.
Ready for action.
At his service. What is
Slig thinks this might be the last of it. Rotten Araks again!
Akrog will take care of them. Is he nearly done?
Slig is a fast worker, Chosen Chieftain. They can head back in a flash. Unless he is not in a hurry to return.
Well, there is just so much to take care of. He would like to help Slig for longer, but...
But duty calls. Slig understands. It cannot be like the old times anymore. Not once he is chieftain. The chieftain can still have fun, though. He should not forget.
You will try not to. At least Little Blood is good at reminding Akrog to be less serious.
That is good. Noag Moonblood makes them all smile. He is such a sweet troll behind that thick hide and those strong arms. The tribe is lucky to have a troll like him who can bring joy and hope. It is true. Noag Moonblood always makes Slig's day brighter.
Get a proper look. Let Akrog see.
What can he do for the tribe?
Now Slig really cannot carry anymore. He will run back to Zaramak, so they can use this scrap straight away.
That was actually quite fast work. Akrog is glad he found what he needed.
It would have been a lot slower if Slig needed to fight those Araks first. Slig thanks the Chosen Chieftain for keeping him safe.
It was no trouble. Well, only a little trouble.
A little trouble. Sounds like Slig. Come back and find Slig when Chosen Chieftain gets back to the tribe. He has an offer for him.
He will.
Moving on.
Grunwa will go there.
You will lead the way.
Interesting. Probably.
He is going.
What is this?
Akrog is glad to see Slig made it back safely with such a burden. Was Master Scrapper Zeramak pleased with him?
Very much. He and Slig are grateful to the Chosen Chieftain.
They are welcome. Maybe it helped Akrog a little to help Slig.
Look, once the burial is done and he is used to being chieftain, he should let Slig cook a meal for him. Slig owes him something tasty for giving up his time on such a day. He can bring Noag Moonblood too. They will toast to a brighter future.
Akrog would like that. Remind him again after the devouring.
It is a deal. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Chosen Chieftain.
Sharp tusks and thick hide, Slig.
Sasha is listening.
Let Akrog see.
Let Grunwa take
There. How feels he now?
better. Speak true, Krung. Warrior Higrak, he died.
The brittlebone stab stick missed the heart. In a few sundowns, he will walk again.
Good. That. Good.
Elf.
Strange. Hopefully he did nothing foolish.
Hope for worries too much. Noag can take care of himself.
Maybe. But he is still the Moonblood, and they must not lose him. They should ask Crumb. Maybe he knows something.
The blood for the tribe!
Only fools challenge the Moonkin.
They will regret this.
Why must they plague the Moonkin?
That way.
This way? Let Zazka get a proper look.
This looks interesting.
Should be Nurbog. Akrog too young. He... Oh. Chosen Chieftain.
The blood for the
He
tribe!
is on his way. He will protect the tribe.
For the Moon King!
but his tusks are still sharp.
What is that? Interesting. Probably.
What on Urgath is this?
Ibrak, Kutuk, the blood for the tribe for the blood.
Elder Greyfur, chosen chieftain Akrog. The blood for the tribe for the blood. Hunter Zazka.
I Kutuk. I Ibrak. How wonderful to see them.
What are they doing out here? Scouting?
I, Master Anug, tell them about strange sparkles in the jungle, so they go see.
Is nothing here, though.
Akrog heard them speak about him. Ibrak thinks Nurbok should have been chosen chieftain, and not Akrog.
He must hear wrong.
Well, that is enough to convince Zazka.
Shut up, small tusk, or Ibrak will make ugly face even uglier.
Kin harms kin not. Now speak true, or stay silent.
What he want Ibrak to say if they heard all?
Nothing. But Akrog will say this. Akrog is chosen chieftain because Sire Narjak chose him, not because he wants it. Make this not harder than it is.
Ibrak knows, and he's sorry. He no disrespect Akrog. It is just the Moonkin lost so many. They cannot lose more.
Trust Akrog. He knows. And once he is chieftain, he will do everything he can to make sure they do not. Now, another question. Have they seen Little Blood? Noak. He is not in the tribe camp.
He not? They see someone go through bushes up north, but they think it one of Zaramak's scrappers. Now that Akrog say it, he probably too tall for scrapper.
Tall sounds about right. Let them hope he did nothing foolish. Strange sparkles. What meant, Anuk?
Ibrak and Kutuk asked themselves the same thing. He say the air wavy, like over a fire.
Grungwar, any idea what that could be?
Maybe hex power. Hard to say.
Green spot mushrooms, maybe. They make the nearby air wavy.
Could be. It is true.
Speaking of I Master Anuk, where is he? He was not in the camp.
East of the cradle with few others. They say Crumb's beaks find nest of araks out there. Good for eating.
What sort?
Kutuk no sure.
Let them pray to Magua. They are blood fiends then. Their flesh is the most nourishing.
All right, they will leave now. There are many things to do. Sharp tusks and thick hide, eyes.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Let Grunwa take a closer look.
What is that?
Bloodburn. That was the name of the hex plague that had caused the rot 600 moons ago.
All right, a tiny pierce stick with hex power, Gabrak said. Let them find it.
And keep their crush sticks ready. Zeramak said there were beasts. Grunwa is here.
If he insists.
Only fools challenge the Moonkin. More power needed. More power needed. He will protect the tribe.
The tribe must survive!
Power.
For the Moonkin!
What is this?
Enemies killed a hero! They will regret this.
Get on. The Moonkin needs him.
closer look. This looks interesting.
Great! More problems to smash.
Feel the might of the moon. Power needed.
Not enough power.
Worms would not eat such
At his service.
Let him at them!
Let's die next.
Can a troll not rest for a moment?
Let Akrog see.
In that direction.
Moving now.
There. So many shiny things.
Grungwar has any idea who lived here? Hunters?
They hunt for the shiny things, so they would not leave them here. Maybe robbers, brittlebones who crush and steal from other brittlebones.
No! No touching! Fat troll hands don't touch Zippet's gold! No!
Mugwas!
No cause for worry. Just a tiny spirit greenskin. It is harmless.
Harmless? Zippet will show the fat brutes harmless. You see these bones, yes? They were two adventurers who starved to death because Zippet kept the magic walls up for 100 years.
The treasure greenskin will make the hex walls disappear, or the moonkin will crush him.
Crush Zippet? Good luck with that, yes. There's nothing left to crush, fat brute. But fine, have it your way. Zippet has time. Zippet...
Look, the Moonkin care not about the shiny stuff. They came here for a tiny pierce stick with hex power. How about they strike a deal? Zippet gets his gold back, and he gives the Moonkin something from his chest in return.
Fine. Zippet doesn't feel like waiting another 100 years, yes? That stink of decay. Ugh. So, an artifact for Zippet's gold. Deal?
What is this artifact they will get in return? They need something strong, with hex power.
It, is strong. Owned by a very powerful pale-skinned mage. Yes.
A hex stick, then. What can it do? Throw fireballs? Raise the dead?
Well, no. Cut potatoes. By itself, floating, yes. Very useful, very strong. And the pale skin loved it.
It should be fine, Akrog. Just a bit of hex power will be enough.
Fine, they have a pact.
Yes, yes. Now give Zippet the gold.
Can Zaska help? Let Zaska get a proper look.
Oh, beautifuls. Come back to Zippet. Yes.
And gone. Grungwar, spirits are just like bone people, no? Restless souls and all.
It is true. His soul was not at peace, so his god took him into the moonlit river and...
Just get hold of him, okay? This place gives me the creeps.
Akrog, is he all right?
It is just... he has been hearing things again.
The gift of spirits.
It is true, but this is the second time in the day. Before that, Akrog had not heard a spirit in moons.
Maybe the cradle makes Akrog's gift stronger?
Grungwar thinks not. His own gifts are still the same. It must be something else in this jungle, or just chance.
Well, now is not the time to think. Let them try this key, so they can bring the artifact back to Zeramak.
Grungwa is ready.
What is that?
Let Grungwa take a closer look. There, the artifact.
All right. Now back to the tribe camp to ask Zeramak if this is enough to shape the tooth.
May Magua guide his hands.
What now? More trouble?
This looks interesting. What on Urgath is this?
On his way.
Why must they plague the Moonkin? More power needed. Over here, big shit. Afraid of an Grungwa is here. They should destroy them. He will protect the tribe. Only fools challenge the Moonkin.
The blood for the tribe! The tribe must survive!
Let Zazka get a proper look. Interesting. Probably.
Akron is ready.
What is that?
All right. Let them find Little Blood, then bring this to Zeramak. They must complete the devouring before sundown.
It will all work out. Grungwa feels it. Magua smiles upon them.
Wonderful. Then what could go wrong?
Why, Zaska? Why must he always blaspheme? Zaska knows how difficult his role in the tribe is. Wants everyone to shun him.
Wait. Zazka's jokes are why they like him not? He always thought they were just jealous of his pretty face.
Zaska is avoiding the question.
No. Zazka is just not in the mood for being questioned by an old, ailing troll.
Fine. If Zaska wants to stay an outcast among kin, then so be it. Just say not that Grungwa tried not to help him.
Sure. Pure, holy Elder Grungwar Oldfur only wanted to help.
Zazka can blaspheme all he likes, but he should not disrespect Grungwar. He must apologize, now.
Leave it, chieftain. Nothing he has said is untrue. Grungwar is old, and Grungwar is ailing. Either way, let them move on.
Zazka is listening.
Come on, Krozak. He is strong. He can beat this. Elder Grungwar, chosen chieftain Akrog, hunters Aska, Magua praise. Crumb is glad to see they are back safely.
Magua praise, Shepherd Crumb, kind soul. How are the wounded?
Not well.
Nagak will not live to see the next sundown. Igrak might mend, or he might not.
Might not. But Crumb told him he would be fine.
Sometimes a bit of hope and trust is enough to heal the worst of wounds. What of the devouring? Is it ready?
Almost. The Bonekin need a few more things. Would Crumb know where Little Blood is? Akrog went to his shelter, but he was not there.
Strange. No, Crumb has seen him not. But he was very upset about their sire the whole day. Poor Noag. He still thought Ken lived forever.
He should know better. Little Blood is not that young, and he has seen kin die. Many of them.
But not same bloods like Akrog or Narjik. It is a painful lesson every troll must learn.
Every moonkin is kin, no matter if he is same blood. It should make no difference.
Oh, come on, Akrog. That is what Mugwa's laws say. But they all know losing a same blood or a trusted one hurts more. There is no shame in these feelings.
Either way, they need to find Little Blood. Has Crumb any idea where he went?
No, but he is sure he went not far. They should look in the jungle.
All right. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Crumb.
Ah, chieftain back. Good, good. What he need?
How are the scrap stocks of the Moonkin? Have the scrappers found enough to make up for what the Moonkin lost during the attack?
Zeramak can speak true?
Always.
Then, no, they not made up. Lost many scrappers that day. Nilak, Pengpek, Dookie. Terrible day for the Moonkin. Terrible day.
Terrible day it was.
But they trying. I, Master Anug, say their brittle-bone battlefield up right from cradle. They have many scrap.
Maybe Zaska can help. He is small and has good eyes. Maybe he can find some.
No, Zaska. Scrappers enough.
All right.
Akrog needs Zeramak to shape something. To crush things.
What he need? Zeramak, old hide, he have it still. Here, chieftain, Mugwa's tooth.
Akrog thanks, Zeramak. To Cabrax, then. Oh, and Zeramak's scrappers can search the cave now. It is safe.